foggy February 4th, 1898, rather typical for that time of year actually, but most untypically, Sherlock Holmes was not quite his usual self that day. No, not at all, not in the least. And I must confess that even after all of the unusual and quite incredible adventures we had shared up until the morning of that very strange visitor, I was rather beside myself as well. Countless times I had witnessed Holmes solving a multitude of odd and unusual cases without the slightest bit of hesitation or difficulty. He had applied his uncanny senses of observation, logic, and deduction to disprove vampires, phantoms, demon dogs, and more. He had written volumes of scholarly papers on the most arcane and esoteric of subjects. Yet on that particular day, there he sat in deep concentration, just staring. Now this was not his usual mode of deep concentration in which he sat in silence, puffing away incessantly on his pipe until the room was filled with a noxious fog, or playing his violin until one's nerves cringed and one could not stand another shrieking, blood-curdling note. No, this time he just sat there completely still as if in a trance, and stared intently at the very strange visitor sitting in the chair across from him. Now, it is also very true that we had never before had a visitor or a client quite like this, so I would imagine that Sherlock's behavior is somewhat understandable. He had been staring at him, or I should say it, since it had appeared that morning in the study. We had come down for breakfast as usual, only to find a cat sitting in the chair across from Sherlock's. It was a rather large cat, with big green eyes and a grayish coat that suggested bluish stripes. "Hello, what's this? What are you doing here? How did you even get in here?" Sherlock wonderingly asked, never expecting a reply. But then the most unimaginable thing possible happened. The cat broke into a very wide grin, and while gazing in the direction of the front door, replied, "Hello to yourself, Sherlock Holmes. I am here to engage your services, and I came through that door." We stood there rather shocked for a moment before I addressed Holmes, asking, "Did that cat just talk to us?" To which the cat turned and looked directly at Sherlock and replied while nodding his head in my direction, "Not very observant, this one, is he?"